Welcome back. We're going to be looking at another linear equation. This time we're going to be looking at one that we have that is a system where basically you have two lines and they intercept each other, and we want to find out where they do that. So in order to do that, and in this case we need to do it graphically, that's what this thing says here. We're less worried about the algebra, although we'll still need a tiny bit of that. And we're going to worry more about what does it look like. So let's go into it. I'm going to color code as usual. I'm going to draw a graph, and I would recommend that you do this. Either get a piece of paper, draw a few coordinates, or get your computer and have it draw this for you so that you can learn to interpret these nice little functions here for what they really are. And they are, in fact, lines. And when we say find the solution, if you have lines, then the solution means they hit each other and you find the common point, both the x and the y coordinate. And here that's really kind of easy to see. And of course, this represents the red line and that represents the blue line, so as to not confuse anyone. All right, so let's continue. How would we go about doing this? Obviously, you have to identify what you're doing. You need to understand what the word solution means. And as I've said about 6 million times, it means where do the lines cross. So that's right here. And if you had your graph, you could do this. You could say, okay, there's that part and here's this part. This, of course, is the x-coordinate. And this is the y. And that's where you would read it off. There's the y. There's the x. Okay? You won't always have graphs that are so easy to interpret. Sometimes you'll have to just do the best you can. But in the simpler cases, and when you have two equations that are easy to read, you won't have any problem. You can always revert to pure algebra as well. But in this case, it was just solve this more or less visually, okay? So you'll need to have a graph. And if something like this came up on a test, you would need to present either a graph or use the graph as presented. All right, let's continue here. What do we got? Okay, it's as simple as identifying the point, finding the coordinates, and presenting your answer. And in this case, just write down answer and show me each little spot. It's really that simple. Remember that in an equation system for lines, you will be able to have an answer if they cross each other. The only way lines can intercept is if they have different k values. So right away we could look in front. Remember, there's an invisible 1 in front of the x right there. Right away we could see that there is an answer. If there had been a 2 in front of that, then it would be a kind of a trick question, because we'd have two parallel lines that never touch each other. And then you would just say, there is no solution because they're parallel. All right, hope that helps. See you next time.